Story time here as we go for a beautiful walk on this beautiful day. So we wanted to just introduce ourselves a little bit quickly while we're walking and talking. Be careful. There's very icy, as you can see. So we just wanted to give you a little background history on
Kind
us.
of as why we wanted to do these TikToks in the first place. It was to bring awareness for breast cancer. She and I are both breast cancer survivors. My sister was diagnosed first with it. So do you want to talk about how?
Yeah, so it was a crazy time of our lives. Like, my mom had gotten really sick and ended up in a rehab, and shortly thereafter my dad did too. So they were both in rehab, and my sister and I were going back and forth visiting them in rehab, and something was just nagging at me. Like, I'd been like a year and a half, 2 years, and I was like, I'm taking care of my parents' health, but I really need to take care of mine too. And I thought, I'm just going to schedule a mammogram. It had been almost a couple years. Shame on me. But I went, and then they're like, well, we see a spot. You're going to have a biopsy really quick. So I went in for a biopsy, not really thinking much about it. I just thought, how could this happen when my parents are both ill in rehab centers at the same time? How could I couldn't possibly be sick. But unfortunately, it came back and I was. And about, 3 weeks before that, I had become a grandmother. So for the first time, I was there for the birth of my granddaughter. And so many things were happening. And so when I get this diagnosis, it was out of left field, and it was a lot of other bad stuff was going on.
Yeah. And so she told me, and they had been watching some spots on me on my mammogram for the past 3 years, just watching and waiting. And the month before, they had seen another spot that they were watching and waiting on. And so when I got the news about my sister, I immediately called the radiologist and said, do I need to get this biopsied? Their answer was no. You'll be fine. It's fine. We believe with almost certainty that it's not cancerous. So you don't need to get another mammogram. Go ahead, you can see.
But so in the meantime, my mind is going through everything. HER2 positive, this. Some doctors saying it's this, some doctors saying no, it's that. So there was a lot of just confusion for me going around. Not only am I fielding doctors' questions about my parents, here I am also dealing with mine too. And so it was a really confusing time. And so I opted to have a double mastectomy, which was an option. And I could have done the implants at the time, but and that'll be for another story.
So we'll have to continue this in a part 2.